5 things you should expect when you manage to get your narcissistic partner to couple therapy in order to get out of the relationship. So I just want to emphasize before I go into the 5 things that I think, and I tell that a lot to my clients and in this channel also in the videos, starting the process of separation from a narcissist, one of the ways to do it is to get your partner to couple therapy. Why? Because that brings a third person into the room. As long as it's only you and the narcissist, the manipulation, the gaslighting, showing to the world that you're the crazy one, whatever it is, they're all going to continue. Once you get your narcissist to this room, somebody else is present and the whole situation changes for better or worse. I will go into that in details in a minute, but something has changed. The progress was made by the fact that you managed to get a third person into the room and that you managed to get your narcissistic partner into a situation where you can talk about your relationship when it's not only the two of you, and that is very important. Of course, there are situations when it's not possible, but if you can, that is a very good place to start. Now, what's going to happen in those sessions and why is it so important to know the 5 things? Because the process is different than other couples therapy, of course, and you have to be on it and you have to understand it and you have to know what's going to happen in order to be able to use this situation for your benefit for getting out of this toxic relationship. And the first thing that's going to happen is going to happen even before you get into this room. And that is the fact that the narcissist is not going to want to go to therapy. Why? Because he's afraid that his mask will be uncovered, that the therapist will be on your side, that he will have to explain things that he doesn't want to explain. All of that stuff is not something that the narcissist wants. He wants to keep the relationship and the interaction with only the two of you being the two parties in this situation, and that is a lot more comfortable for him. But if you insist, if you say again and again that you want to go to therapy, I know it sounds like a bit of a manipulation, but yes, many times I see it with my clients. They say, we want to go, we want to give it a chance. Even that, I know it sounds horrible, but that is a way of getting your freedom back and getting your sanity and taking care of your children. And this is a white lie that is worth telling because that may be something that will bring the narcissist into the room. So yes, I recommend you doing that, and I recommend another thing is asking somebody from the family, from your friends, to convince the narcissist to go into therapy. All of these methods are uh, uh, something that you might have to use kosher, and that's the word that comes up to my mind. It's so that you get the narcissist to come into therapy. So the first thing out of the 5, the first thing is the therapist is the narcissist. Sorry, is not going to be happy to do it. Use all sorts of methods to get them into the room. Um, uh, Choosing the therapist, that is point number 2. Many times that is another thing. They will send you to look for the therapist because they don't want to do the hard work. If they don't trust you completely by this stage, they will go look for themselves. But many times narcissists prefer that somebody else does the dirty work for them, and then they will either say I agree or I don't agree. um, but so be prepared for that. They will look into that person that you recommend. Many times they will prefer the other gender. If it's a man, he will prefer a woman as a therapist, and the other way around. Why? Because they think that is something that would be easier for them to manipulate, to charm. They will look into this person, they will look into the website, to the YouTube channel, whatever, and they will say, well, I agree or I don't agree. Depending on that feeling, on whether they think this is somebody that they will be able to manipulate. They will look into the energy of that person, and that is the second thing you can expect. The third thing, once you go into that room, and finally we got into this room, they will put on the narcissistic charm, the love bombing, everything you know and actually remember from the beginning of your relationship. They will try to connect, saying, wow, we both love cooking, for example, and you're not a great cooker. They will talk about cooking on and on. They will bring some dish that they made for this therapist who's very much into vegan cooking, whatever. They will try to do that very, very intensely and to put on the charm, so that something that will connect them to the therapist and draw them to their side, so that you will come out as the highly sensitive, the crazy one, the whatever it is. And that is something that can actually work. I hear my clients again and again telling me stories about how the charm, the love bombing worked, and put them um, on the chair of the guilty one. And that is something that is very difficult. I want you to know that if that's something that's happening to you, get out of the therapy. Nothing good will come out of it. You're only going to be gaslighted and manipulated again and again. And I know it's going to sound like you're too sensitive, and the narcissist is going to say, well, when somebody is not on your side, then you run away, of course, again and again. Doesn't matter. I have to say that is not a therapy that will be good for you, and you should look for other options, like going to a mediator or whatever, or trying to find somebody else. But this therapist he was bought by the narcissist, and nothing good is gonna come out of it. So that is number three. If on the other side, and that is number four, the therapist is on to them, he understands what's going on, and he uses so many words to say you're manipulative, you never take responsibility, and they feel that they are put on the guilty chair. The narcissist is going to resist it a lot. Is going to say that you did something that made them think that uh, you're the victim of whatever it is. They're not going to take responsibility, of course, and they're going to blame you. And many times they will be the one leaving the therapy now at this situation. And that is also something good, because now you can proceed on to something else. Therapy didn't work. We can do whatever it is, go to a mediator, go to a lawyer, whatever it is, but you can continue the process of getting out of this relationship. So that is number four. That is also something that can happen. Number five, and very, very important, at the beginning, even in advance, tell the therapist that you want personal sessions. You don't have to tell them, and I know that sounds manipulative also, you don't have to tell the therapist, in advance that you want to leave. It's very, to leave the relationship. You have to sense this person. You have to give yourself one or two meetings together. But then after a while, or even in advance, you can say in advance that you can ask, are there personal sessions as well, and we can start together, but then I want to have personal sessions. Put that on the table and wait for a session or two, but you should emphasize the need for personal sessions. And after a session or two, you could, in those personal sessions that you ask for, or that the therapist said that he does, start saying that this is very difficult and I'm thinking about a breakup. Or if the therapist has realized what's going on, many times he would be the one to tell you that. But if he's not doing it, tell them, I am on the verge, or I'm thinking, and I'm on the way of getting out of this relationship, and it's important for me to say, and it's important for me to put on the table the abuse and what things actually look like. Talk about them gradually. Of course, you have to sense who is the person, if he understands, if he's getting it, if he's getting narcissism. But ask for the personal sessions, and gradually expose what you're going through, and see the way this therapist reacts, and according to that, ask them to guide you from this step on, out of the relationship. And if, of course, the therapist doesn't get it, then he's not the right therapist for you. And in friendly terms, say that this is not the right therapy, and get out of this uh, therapeutic relationship. So that is what I wanted to talk about, what to expect going to therapy with your narcissistic partner, when you have in mind the fact that you want to get out of the relationship. Why do it? What to expect before, and how to do it gradually. And I really wish you good luck with this process, which is not very easy to do. And of course, find wishing you luck in finding the right person. If you want to have a one-on-one sessions. I don't do couple therapy, but if you want to have a one-on-one session, you're more than welcome to contact me. The details are below. To be prepared for that, I would love to help you on your journey, and I wish you a lot of luck and a hug uh, from far away on this video, and I'll see you on my next short and long videos next time. Bye bye.